Welcome to the Inspire London College. This is the assignment worksheet for Qualify Level 5 Diploma, Partnership Working in Health and Social Care with the unit number A5059499. So in this video, I'll be discussing with you that how can you meet the requirement of each of the assessment criteria and learning outcome of this unit. But before you start working on the learning outcome assessment criteria, it is necessary for you to provide a brief introduction to the topic of your assignment, in which you may discuss like what the assignment will cover, what is the main point of your assignment, etc. For example, this assignment is all about partnership working in health and social care. So you may discuss the concept of partnership working, like what it means, why it matters, and how it play an important role in improving the overall health and social care services. Now, here is the learning outcome one, which is all about understanding the philosophy and challenges about partnership working. In which, for the assessment criteria 1.1, you need to explain the philosophy behind partnership working. Now, what does it mean? This means that you need to discuss the core beliefs and the values like respect, dignity, trust, or any of the values that drives this approach. And make sure that your answer should show how working in partnership with the service users, either with the families or the other care professionals, ensure that the care provided to these individuals is holistic and very effective to their needs, their preferences, and their wishes. Whereas for the assessment criteria 1.2, you need to explain the barriers, or you can say the challenges that are preventing the individuals from working in partnership. So for this criteria, you may consider discussing different barriers like how the poor communication, how cultural differences either in the organization or either individual itself are playing an important role in negatively impacting the partnership working or the delivery of the services within the health and social care. Now, moving to the learning outcome 2, in which for the assessment criteria 2.1, you need to critically explore the role of interprofessional learning in development of partnership working. Now, this criteria comes with the word critically, so make sure that you not only explain or discuss simply the topic or the concept that is asked in this assessment criteria, but you have to evaluate, give some reasons by discussing the topic in depth, right? So for this criteria, what you need to do first, you need to understand like what interprofessional learning is. Then you need to identify the key roles of interprofessional learning, like how it improves the mutual understanding between the professionals and how it supports the better team dynamics within the health and social care. And you can also analyze the advantages as well as any potential challenges or limitations of interprofessional learning in the development of partnership working, because it asks you to critically explore the role of interprofessional learning. Whereas for the assessment criteria 2.2, in which you need to critically explore the concept of communities of practice and its influence on the partnership working. So it has its two parts. So for the first part of the assessment criteria, you need to critically explore and discuss the concept of community of practice. So in this, you may discuss like how communities facilitate the learning, how it facilitates shared knowledge and collaborative problem solving. And then in the second part of the criteria, you have to analyze the impact or influence of such communities on building stronger partnership within the health and social care. Now, this is the assessment criteria 2.3. Again, it has its two parts. So for the first part of the assessment criteria, you have to understand the concept of personal budget. Like you have to understand for yourself like what personal budget is in order to discuss like what is the role of personal budgets and how they empower the service users, right? And then in the second part of the assessment criteria where you have to evaluate or explain the impact on working in partnership with the service users. So for this part of the assessment criteria, you have to analyze like how personal budgets can either facilitate or challenge partnership working within this sector. Now moving down, here is this learning outcome 3, in which for the assessment criteria 3.1, you need to evaluate the impact of child abuse inquiries on government and working in partnership. So for this criteria, first you need to understand the concept of child abuse inquiries. Then you need to evaluate like what and how the child abuse inquiries has impacted the government policy and how it impacted the partnership working. For this, you may consider specifically, your answer should specifically be about like how the child abuse inquiries pushed this whole system towards the better collaboration, towards the implementation of improved safeguarding protocols and development of stronger regulations to protect the children, right? And then in the assessment criteria 3.2, which is very simple, you simply have to evaluate the positive impact of partnership working. So for this criteria, you can explain like how working together leads to positive healthcare outcomes, how partnership working play an important role in improving the overall care quality, in improving the communication, in improving the delivery of the services within the health and social care. And once you have discussed all the assessment criteria and learning outcomes, you have to briefly discuss the conclusion of your whole of your assignment as well, in which you can discuss the key points of your assignment. Like you can discuss the key points of every of the learning outcome and assessment criteria within 150 words. And lastly, don't forget to provide the references of the sources that you use for collecting the information for whole of your assignment, and make sure that all the references that you provide in bibliography section must be in Harvard referencing style. So this is the end of the assignment worksheet of Qualify Level 5 Diploma, Partnership Working in Health and Social Care.